The Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series is proudly brought to you by Sentinel Homes and Hockey New Zealand in association with Vantage Windows and Doors, Computer Concepts Limited, Ford New Zealand, and Sky Sport, your home for hockey.
Yesterday, after a 14-month absence, international hockey returned for Australia and New Zealand with Game 1 of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series for 2021. And for the Kookaburras, it didn't take them long to start firing crisp passing and slick combinations. Saw Australia quickly stamp their authority with the opening goal, only to see their lead evaporate with that goal right there to Black Sticks debutant Sean Finlay. But late goals to Trent Mitten and Tom Wickham sealed a 3-1 win. An entertaining game which ended with Australia taking first blood in the four-match series. So who will prevail in Game 2? Will it be continued Australian dominance, or will the Black Sticks strike back? We're about to find out. Yes, welcome to Game 2 of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series here at Massey University in Palmerston North. Another double header for you today. Later we'll have the Vantage Black Sticks against the Australian Kookaburras in the women's match, but first up it's Game 2 of the men's series. The Kookaburras looking to go 2 from 2 against the Vantage Black Sticks. Glenn Lama is my name. Lincoln Churchill, former Black Sticks player, is with me again in commentary, and well, it's going to take a big job for the Black Sticks to come back into this contest, in this series here, Lincoln, because I thought the Australians were slick in Game 1.
Yeah, the Australians were looked very good, I thought, for having not played an international game for a long time. They really started quite well, and as Darren Smith mentioned, the Black Sticks looked a little bit nervy in their first quarter. They did come back into it though. They'll be encouraged by that, so that was a good thing for them. But yeah, I think probably one of the key things was just how making those chances count, which was what Australia did do better.
Let's get to the team lists now, and first up let's have a look at the Australian team. There are 2 changes to the team that won Game 1. Jacob Anderson, number 9, comes into the lineup today. Tim Howard, number 16, comes into the lineup today. Jake Harvey and Trent Mitten miss out on the squad of 18 today, but other than that it's the same, with the squad once again to be captained by number 11, the most capped Australian player of all time, Eddie Ockenden. 5 changes to the Black Sticks team today. David Bryden, number 3, comes into the lineup. San Lane, a striker from Canterbury. Jared Panchia, the midfielder, wearing 14. And the other 2 players are Dominic Newman, number 28, and a new player, late call-up into the team, Aidan Sarakaya, who comes into the side with Nick Ross out injured in the series. He has pulled his hamstring and will not play. And another injury update today to Blair Tarrant. The captain is not going to play in this game today. He has, well, after that nasty injury in the opening minutes of Game 1, he has got a black eye, a nasty eye, can't see out of it, we've been told. Hopefully we'll see him back in the lineup on Sunday. So that is the news of the 2 teams. Nick Woods taking over the captaincy of the lineup today, and we're delighted that long-term partner of hockey, Sentinel Homes, has joined us for naming rights partnership of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series for 2021. We'd like to acknowledge Vantage Windows and Doors, principal partner of Hockey New Zealand, and the Black Sticks naming rights partner. Hockey New Zealand would also like to acknowledge Computer Concepts Limited, Ford, the driving force behind the Vantage Black Sticks, and Sky Sport, the home for hockey. And a special mention too, if you're watching from Australia again tonight, thanks for joining us. We understand we had several thousand viewers watching on the Sky Sport YouTube Next channel, and fingers crossed we'll get another repeat of that today as Nick Woods brings on the Black Sticks for game number 2. The umpires are the same for game 1. Simon Taylor and David Tomlinson will be controlling this match once again. Good crowd building up here. We've got very similar conditions to game 1. We have slightly warmer conditions, but very pleasant. No rain forecast, no wind. We're now standing by for the national anthems of Australia and New Zealand.
Please now stand for the singing of the national anthem. Starting with Australia.
So we're not too far away from the start of game number 2 in the Sentinel Homes, the Trans-Tasman series for 2021, and we'll have the start of the match for you right after this.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more and go further. Now available with Ford Assured Future Value Finance. No deposit needed, and at the end of your payment term, choose from a range of options, including upgrading to a new Ford. Search Ford Escape now. Ford, bring on tomorrow.
Been holding me back.
to our men on cricket's biggest stages.
He's got it! England have won the World Cup!
Now, Sky Sport proudly presents the biggest stage of all, the inaugural ICC World Test Championship Final. Don't miss the Black Caps versus India.
This is the ultimate test.
Live June 18, only on Sky Sport.
We're all set for a start here in game number 2 of the Trans-Tasman series for 2021. Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series is going to be New Zealand and Australia here at Massey University in Palmerston North. Game 1 last night, Australia 3, New Zealand 1. And we are all set for game number 2. Going to be Dominic Newman with his first touch of the series to get things cracking. Game number 59 for New Zealand for him, and we are underway. Reminding you that Nick Woods is captaining the Black Sticks today in the absence of Blair Tarrant. Hugo Ingles also not playing in this contest. He has been rested after game number 1, so a lot of experience out of the lineup between those two players. Lincoln Churchill, it's going to be a big task for New Zealand in this game. Straight away they turn it over, and here comes Wetton. This is Brand, goal scorer last night for the Kookaburras. He tries to put a move on Nick Woods. Straight away it's New Zealand on the defensive. Here comes Simmons coming forward for the Kookaburras. And New Zealand have survived.
Just going back to your comment earlier there, Glenn.
Yes.
It is true that when you take out a couple of New Zealand's most experienced players, it is a little bit tougher, because the guys that you're bringing in are nowhere near as experienced. Australia have a bit more luxury in that department.
They do indeed, and reminding you too that Nick Ross is out of the series with a hamstring injury, with Aiden Sarakaya from Waikato being brought in, and he is straight onto the bench for the Black Sticks in this contest as Kane Russell tries to find Panchia down on the circle's edge. Panchia, a busy midfielder. He'll be looking to make an impression after missing out on selection in game number 1. Still trying to get over the fact his brother Aaron is not playing as well after retiring recently.
It did come too soon, although he did get married, and that's what sometimes happens. It's hard to justify the amount of time you're spending away from home.
Which of course a lot of these players do spend, well, until COVID. A lot of these players were at home or away from home a lot. A lot of international hockey played. There's Dawson. I don't doubt we'll see similar tactics from Australia as we saw in game number 1. As we see Ogilvie move it back. Good crisp pass there. And now Australia come forward onto the circle's edge as they look to up the ante again. Here's a chance for them, the first chance. Hayward could be called into action, and there were 6 New Zealand defenders back in the circle there, Lincoln.
Yeah, good numbers back on defence, and a good smothering save from George Ennison. Although one thing that will worry Darren Smith was how easy that pass was able to just find its way. Was it Daniel Beale just hovering around the outside of the circle? Picked it up with no pressure on him at all.
Yes, George Ennison, in fact, in goal to start this game for New Zealand today. Leon Hayward will come on in the second half. So role reversals for both the New Zealand keepers today. Des Dawson playing it into the circle, nicely anticipated by Russell. Here's Russell looking for space with Jared Panchia. Nice delayed pass. Russell in space. Now here comes New Zealand coming forward. This is Edwards to the circle's edge. Looking for a penalty corner. Couldn't quite link up there with Newman, but he's robbed the ball there, Dominic Newman. And there's a free hit to New Zealand on the circle's edge. Nice play by New Zealand. They move forward beautifully there.
Yeah, very nice attack. Kane Russell, the sole member of the Southern Battalion that's still in the battle here. A great little break out of defence for the Black Sticks.
Thomas comes into the circle, and there's a penalty corner. He played it into the foot. The umpire's actually playing advantage, and now David Tomlinson blows his whistle, and New Zealand get that penalty corner.
No Black Sticks player was that interested in the advantage. Maybe George Muir was trying to have a bit of a go.
Good play from Thomas here, though.
Yeah, it was good play, although
Dawson was playing French cricket.
Yeah, it was. It was Jake Whitten as well on the baseline there. He'd probably be a little bit disappointed with that because Thomas couldn't go the other way, otherwise he would have gone out. So it was pretty obvious he was going to go to his forehand side and still managed to evade him.
Now, New Zealand really struggled to earn penalty corners. It's funny how the game turns. Here they are with one in the early stages of this match. Now, Nick Woods and Kane Russell hovering at the top of the circle. It's going to be Woods to flick, and it's just gone wide. No touch, so it's back for a 16-yard hit for Australia.
Yeah, good injection, good trap. Woods just failing to get that on target. See the Australian defensive battery here. And it's a pretty good line by their front runner. Blocking one side of the goal, asking Woods to put it. Well, Woods, in trying to avoid him, also then missed the goal.
Belts. Lane trying to put pressure on him. Back it comes to Hayward. And now Dawson sweeps but can't find the target. So New Zealand will get the ball.
It's interesting to see that New Zealand press really sinking back. So further back than a half-court press as Australia started to outlet that ball. Really trying to congest the defensive half of the field.
Russell again locking down this right defensive position for New Zealand in this contest. Nice pass from Sarakai, who's out there now. And now Lane, and beautifully kept in field there just by Dominic Newman. Australia holding the ball right in the corner. Looking for a free hit, and they get one.
That was good play by Belts. He had nowhere to go, so the only thing he could really do was win a free hit, which he did successfully.
McAleese, game number 312 tonight for New Zealand. Sarakai just sneaks onto his foot, and it's being turned over in midfield. So a chance, and you can see all the Australians sweeping forward now, and all the New Zealanders hurrying back into a defensive mindset now as they look to try to deny. Australia early in this contest, just 6 minutes played. Tight first half yesterday too. No goals in the first half. And that is going to be New Zealand ball.
Yeah, just not able to gather that overhead, and it was a tactic the Australians used pretty well yesterday. Overhead passes from their back group up to their forwards. I thought they did a really good job of controlling the ball in an attacking manner, which can be quite difficult to do with a ball coming over your shoulder.
David Bryden just losing the ball there over the sideline. They've been debuting in the series in this game. Another Cantabrian. Dawson for Australia. Game number 142 for him today. Here is Matt Dawson. Son actually of a former Australian cricketer, Trish. As Australia come forward now. And now it's Beale. Good tackle from Woods. Nice play from him. Ooh, that ricochet could have gone anywhere. Oh, and it has not been cleared, but untidy from the Black Sticks at the back there. Australia looking to keep the pressure on. Oh boy, now Woods has clocked it in the head. Can you believe this? The New Zealand captain for the second straight day has copped one in the head.
Yeah, I wouldn't be putting the armband on. Like, it looked to be another nasty one,
didn't it?
You know, and again, it just, did it take a deflection? I just think it was, no, it's another moment of just horrible skill. This time from Daniel Beale. Yesterday it was Tom Wickham, I think, whose shot just went straight up. And that's, it's really tough. I mean, when you're playing sort of Sunday third division, you might expect that the ball might come up like that from such a short distance, but not internationally.
Well, Woods looks okay there, Lincoln.
Yeah, he's got a hard jaw.
Well, it looked like it might have even gone up around his ear, didn't it?
Yeah, it's brought up in the Waikato, so there's a lot of very calcium-rich milk there, close to the source.
McIntyre, that calls him into action. So depleted New Zealand backline now. No Tarrant, no Woods.
Yeah, hopefully Woods is okay, because if missing him and Blair Tarrant starts to take a lot of leadership out of your back group.
Well, Woods too, very creative defensive player too. And New Zealand need that skill in their team. Australia happy to hold on to the ball. Now Tim Howard, who's getting the call up today, he's locking that central defensive position. On the ball right now, Tim Howard from Brisbane. 20th game for him, 62nd game rather for him today for the Kookaburras. Australia in no rush here, and New Zealand just letting them play these two at the back. Howard once again.
And what you can't see in the shot there is a lot of movement up off the ball here from the Australian midfield, rotating and moving everywhere, trying to open up a channel for these back two to find a pass.
Belts finally gets the opportunity, and it's nicely trapped there by McIntyre. McAleese playing it into Brand, but it's been lifted into him. Brand takes it quickly. Good awareness from him. Great tackle from Lett. Clean tackle from Dane Lett, and that needed to be made, Lincoln. Oh, great pass. Hold on the phone there, Lincoln, as Sarakaya comes forward. He's found. There's a chance. Oh, good save by Tyler Lovell. And it was Wilson who got clear.
Yeah, great counter-attack. Good lead by Nick Wilson. It was just the finish that let him down. Probably not the best shot option. Lifting it high like that from that distance. He would have been... you saw Australia actually score a couple of goals yesterday in that kind of range, and both of them were just fired in really low and quick. So here's the replay, and that height, not that difficult for a goalkeeper to move his hand. A lot harder for them to move their feet.
Well, very good pass it was from Sarakaya to Wilson to create the opportunity. So Aidan Sarakaya being called into the team for the injured Nick Ross, making his absence or making his presence felt straight away, as there looks to be a crash ball and it's ricocheted into the legs. Referee, the umpire says play on. As here comes Wilson looking to create some space. Plenty of Australian jumpers back there. And Ephraim's can't catch up with it, and it's going to be Australian ball regardless.
A bit slippery out there. A few players losing their feet.
So Hayward back out there now in defence, as the Australians rotate a few new players onto the pitch. Ockenden is out there now, and Hayward. Ogilvie. Finlay and Wilson occupying that front position as Panchia and McAleese look to apply pressure, and they've conceded the free hit.
Conceded the free hit unluckily there. Not too much wrong with that. It wasn't a great hockey pass by Howard there. He just sort of shoveled it in a little bit bobbly, and the Kiwis quickly recognised it, and two guys committing to the man on the receive.
Oh, nice play from Ockenden. He's left Newman with work to do. And nice little pop pass there as Ephraim's plays it into the circle. As there's a chance here for Ephraim's. Straight into Innocent, who looks to get rid of it. And it's a goal. Australia have opened the scoring. New Zealand can't stop that attack. And it's celebrations for the Kookaburras, and they lead 1-0.
There were immediate impact from Ockenden down that sideline. Beautiful skill. And they thought the opportunity had gone here for the Aussies. He ended up making a good save initially, but just unfortunately for Innocent, the ball just falling straight back to Ephraim, who was able to make a simple tap in.
Oh, he's a tall player. Just watch him reach just around Innocent.
And just fell exactly to where his stick was, didn't it? Like he sort of made the same sort of mistake that I thought Nick Wilson made earlier, and just firing the ball high from closer, or sort of a bit mid-range, straight at the goalkeeper, but the same time, it's a pretty tough one for George Anderson to do anything about. Straight at his belly, pretty hard to really get any clearance on it. Great
Anderson, what a tackle. Here's Jacob Anderson coming forward for the Kookaburras now. Flicks it back to Beale. Beale looking for opportunities for Brand, but it's been stopped and deflected away. Nathan Ephraim's with the goal in his 5th game for Australia. Lincoln, his first ever goal for his country. He'll remember this one for a long time.
Yeah, he certainly will.
Thomas comes forward now for the Black Sticks. Can't keep possession, and now there's space here for Australia to counter. Simmons. Let's push that too wide for Tim Brand.
You saw the Australians getting around Ephraim as soon as he scored the goal. Always nice to acknowledge a milestone like that.
He hasn't been in the Australian team too long, only debuted last year against Great Britain. And here he is on the score sheet for the first time. So well done to Nathan Ephraim as McAleese. Newman tries to get through Beale, but couldn't do so. Sam Lane. McAleese. New Zealand come up the centre through Steve Edwards. Sarakaya on the left. It's been taken away. Edwards tries to get it back off Wetton, and New Zealand have got a free hit. Ball possession coming for the Black Sticks. Edwards over the ball here. Plays it back to Lett. McAleese. Give it to Kane Russell to see if Russell here can create. That's Muir crashing it in. Off the stick there of Dawson. I think Hihar might have had the last touch. No, in fact it did go off Dawson out first, so it will be a long corner.
So time here for New Zealand to try and muster a response at the end of this quarter. They have had a couple of pretty good looking opportunities on attack in that first quarter so far, the Black Sticks.
Whoops, that pass didn't go to plan. And now New Zealand have to come all the way back, and Australia are pressing high as we have 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. Finlay can't get past. He's going to get another crack. Oh, it's play on. Finlay gets another shot at it. With the help of Shea McAleese, plays it into the foot there of Beale.
What a yells of Izzy 5.
Here's Hihar. What can he cook up here? Oh, it's gone back, and it's going to be another long corner.
Still time here.
Maybe one last chance here for New Zealand to crash it in. Edwards. Good way play from him, and it's more possession for New Zealand, but the time will elapse. And that is the end of the first quarter, with Australia holding the lead at the end of the first quarter. Kane Russell, plenty for him and his teammates to think about. There's the goal scorer, Nathan Ephraim, his first ever goal for the Kookaburras. It is quarter time here in game number 2 of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. 1-0 to the Australians.
Yeah, an interesting little battle in that first quarter. The Australians, I think, it'd be interesting to see what Colin Batch adds here to the Aussies, because I felt like in that first quarter they weren't really getting a whole lot of joy, or not as much as they were getting yesterday. New Zealand press holding reasonably firm. There was that early pass that Daniel Beale received right outside the circle, which was one moment that they really opened New Zealand up, but it wasn't until that bit of excellent skill from Eddie Ockington that they really had another decent look.
But there was encouraging signs for the Black Sticks in that first quarter if we compare what we saw from them yesterday in game 1. Lincoln, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think on the counter, a couple more, they were certainly looking to go forward a bit more once they'd breached, and they had guys running in behind the Australian defence. So that obviously that opportunity that Nick Wilson got was a good example of that, where he had a quick pass to Sarakaya, who was able to link up really quickly. And the possession stats certainly showing a little bit more of a contest in today's game. So Yesterday, if we remember, I think Australia had about 82% in the game, which is a very, very high number. Today it's 52% in favour of New Zealand at the moment.
That's interesting.
And you can see there too the circle entries level as well, whereas yesterday that was Australia were double what New Zealand were pretty much the whole way through the match.
That's correct. So that's encouraging signs. But can New Zealand keep it going? That's the question. I'll keep an eye on whether Nick Woods is able to come back onto the pitch after being clocked in the head by that errant pass from Daniel Beale. He's not on the pitch after. He hasn't been seen yet since copying that blow. So we'll see if he returns. He was part of that team huddle at quarter time there, Nick Woods. But that doesn't obviously necessarily mean he'll be back in this game.
That's true, yeah. I mean, they obviously have to be a little bit careful these days with concussion protocol.
Absolutely. As Dylan Thomas comes forward, it's New Zealand.
Long gone are the days of Dean Lonergan with the shaky legs, just carrying on.
Oh, it's kept in field only just, but then Thomas couldn't do so. And in fact, Thomas was convinced there, wasn't he, that Australia had the last touch. But still, I like the pace of that movement up the left. Lincoln, that was good for the Black Sticks.
Certainly some better connections going on today, which will please Darren Smith. Yeah, I mean, that certainly was the overriding feeling yesterday, as the Black Sticks had looked just a little bit blunt on attack.
Australia go aerial this time. Now they look to create. Here's a good clean tackle. In fact, it's gone against Australia. So good work there by Bryden.
It's that man, Lachlan Sharp, down there with a terrible haircut, unable to make anything of that opportunity.
Lett was ambitious with that pass.
This makes me wonder whether he's from a part of Australia that was in lockdown for quite a long time and there was no barbers open, or looks like his flatmate's done his haircut.
Well, look, I don't want to see a photo of you towards the end of May last year, Lincoln, and you definitely don't want to see a photo of me when it comes to hairstyles after 2 months with hair growth.
Yeah, I struggle to grow it, so it's sort of...
Hunchier over there trying to pressure Daniel Beale. That is good pressure. Hiha has it for New Zealand, and his wins a free hit as well. Sarakaya almost gets it to Thomas, but it's been taken away by the Aussies. And away comes Wetton. Bryden tries to effect a pass off Lachlan Sharp. Sharp still has it. Bounces up. And a penalty corner's been conceded by New Zealand. A little unlucky there, the Black Sticks perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy, but well done, Lachlan Sharp. He did well. Got in there and caused some problems. The turnover from Sarakaya, as much as it obviously is not a good thing, the thing I did like about it is he's trying to go forward, but unfortunately...
Yeah, I love the injection there of Lachlan Sharp. Real urgent. That's what you want to see as a coach. You want to see urgency from your players right the way through the match, and I think Sharp demonstrated that on that occasion. So here come the Australians with their first penalty corner. Govers and Wetton at the top. It's going to be Blake Govers. Sits 2-0. He's put a dent in that backboard with a very powerful flick. And that's how to execute a penalty corner. Australia double their lead.
Yep. Blake Govers, when we often would do analysis of international flickers, you would sit back and go, well, he's a good one. And he has just drilled that stick side. Innocent not able to get down quick enough. Just a little bit of just a hint of a little bit of a feint from Govers as he came in. You see he just twisted it. We couldn't see it on that angle, but you can see it looks a little bit like he might be going to the other side initially. And then he just whips it round. Maybe that's just what held George Innocent. Wasn't able to get down quick enough. Good flick.
Well, Govers, what a strike rate. This is actually his 100th game for the Australians today. So congratulations on bringing up a milestone game, and he's now scored 86 goals in 100 games. What a strike rate that is. And there are Australians hungry for more goals as that one goes right across the face.
Yeah, well, he's a little bit of a rarity, Black Gubbers, in international men's hockey, in that he's a striker that flicks. So it means he gets field goals, plus he gets buckets of corners as well. Most international flickers are defenders, so they don't tend to feature too much in the field goal stakes. And Australia asking the question. Lachlan Sharp with a wry smile there. He felt maybe that ball was deliberately played over the baseline and perhaps it should be a penalty corner.
No joy from Simon Taylor, the umpire, as Hayward plays it into the circle. And that has come off the foot there of Dane Lett. So another penalty corner to the Kookaburras.
Yeah, that one just looked all a little bit easy, didn't it? The Australians just able to get a very simple little passing movement. See, unmarked player, and then Anderson just flicking the ball straight into the bottom of the shin pad of Dane Lett. So a little big Gubbers again. He's up there along with Jeremy Hayward.
Yeah, well, Gubbers has switched to the right side this time. Hayward occupying that left side, which Gubbers scored from a couple of minutes ago. Let's see who this goes to. It's going to be Hayward. Oh, and it's just deflected wide off the stick of a New Zealand player.
Yeah, Shane McAleese on the right post there. Oh, dear.
There's a fierce pass.
Shouldn't get through there that easily.
Lett
cleans it up just.
And now Thomas tries to break away. Good pass. And now Newman has it for the Black Sticks. Infringement there. I just wondered whether the umpires might show a card, and that looked like it came off the foot there of Hayward, but the umpire rather, has said play on. And here comes Martin for the Kookaburras.
There's certainly a little bit of tension out there at the moment. There's a lot of appeals from the players and the benches. And
Sharp has intercepted that pass from Lane, and now Brand. Australia will calm it down, leading 2-0. Goal in the first quarter to Ephraim's, and Gubbers with that penalty corner earlier in this quarter. And Australia with a 2-0 lead at the moment.
Yeah, well, it could have been 3 if not for the stick of Shane McAleese. On that last corner, incidentally, New Zealand opting to go with what's known as a 2-post, where they keep one player. You normally only have one on the foot side of the goalkeeper, and ask the keeper to save anything low to his stick side. But obviously with that previous corner getting buried in there, they decided to put another defender back on the line.
Russell, very composed play, and he outlet it superbly to Muir there, and now Muir comes forward for the Black Sticks. Oh, that's been stolen away by Australia again, and now this could open up. As Muir goes back to try and hustle. The Australians once again. Sharp, now Ogilvie. Flynn Ogilvie. Well left there by Dane Lett, that pass. And the connection for once not working there with Brand.
Yeah, just not quite finding the mark, and good awareness by Dane Lett to just realise he could let that ball go.
Well, Sharp's having a wonderful game. He's everywhere at the moment. Another interception from him.
He's made about 3 or 4 steals in the last few minutes.
Ephraim, who got the first goal. Now the Australians will settle it down again. Quite happy to just knock it around the halfway again as Hayward.
The Black Sticks have just got to try and get hold of the pill for a little bit here. Otherwise, this match is going to slip away from them very fast. Certainly all the momentum with Australia at the moment, and another goal here would have as good as bury this match.
Lett trying to ensure that doesn't happen. Tim Brand gives it back to Ockenden. Now Hayward, he's moved out to the left of it. Ogilvie dropping back into that middle defensive position along with Howard, who's in possession now. Ogilvy 1-2 full Sam Lane, and there's a one-touch pass there from Hayward. Nicely gathered there by Sharp, who's having a brilliant game. Into the circle he comes, and a stick there from McAleese. Earns a long corner for Australia.
It's a little bit easy there for Lachlan Sharp to get around Sean Finlay, and his Hawke's Bay compatriot Shay McAleese having to clean up.
Hayward direct into the circle this time, and it's been picked up. There's a chance. And for once that pass didn't find a teammate. Muir tidies up for the Black Sticks.
Yeah, it's one thing the Australians are very good at doing once they get to the circle is they just get a lot of bodies there. So it means there is more chance of them either connecting with a pass or cleaning up scraps if it sort of takes a ricochet on that occasion. That didn't happen.
McAleese has taken over the captaincy, by the way, folks, after Nick Woods' injury. After being hit in the head with the ball. There's a lovely overhead pass and brought down to the carpet by Wilson. Wilson trying to find Finlay, but the Australians have it. Finlay tries desperately to win the ball back.
Yeah, Shay McAleese putting on the captain's armband. I've been watching Gallipoli and realised that the Turkish soldiers used to shoot the officers because of the insignia, and I'm wondering whether it's a good omen to be wearing a captain's badge out there at the moment, the way they're getting
picked off by the Australians. Whoops, McAleese makes the error. Brand, look out, this sneaks through here, and Anderson should tidy up comfortably, which he has done. McAleese, good heads up play, hee-ha onto that one, and Bryden will bring it forward again. Finlay surrounded by three Australians. Beale's got it. They swarmed on him. Oh, poor pass. Here's Lane. Wilson up high, but again, the Australians get back so fast, don't they? There were 7 there, including Daniel Beale. It's Ogilvy. A lovely pass.
Yeah, that was good outletting by the Australians there. New Zealand not really able to keep into one side of the pitch.
Hayward. That's Simmons. 5:35 to go in this first half here in game number 2 of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. Don't forget, we'll have game 2 of the women's match at 7:30 local time tonight. Game 1 finishing 1-1. Hayward. Panchia, good control from him. Difficult bouncing ball, that one, for Jared Panchia. He's lost it over the sideline. Australia have it inside the New Zealand quarter. Dawson. Over to the left he comes. Penalty corner is the call.
Looked like, I think what Simon Towns has ruled there is that Tim Brand was first to the spot to receive that overhead, and the New Zealand player, and then Ollie McIntyre's run into that space. Sorry, it was Jacob Anderton. First man under the ball, and Ollie McIntyre's come too close to him within the 5.
So penalty corner, just been informed Nick Woods will not be back in this contest this evening. Big blow there for the Black Sticks. No Blair Tarrant, no Hugo Ingles, no Nick Ross, and now no Nick Woods.
Yeah, they're
down on troops. Here's the penalty corner. The Australians looking to add a third as it's Hayward again, and it's saved by Anderson, and the deflection goes wide. Well done from George Anderson. Good stop.
Yeah, good get from Anderson, and a little bit lucky for the Black Sticks that Beale just wasn't able to sneak that inside the post. Rebound coming straight to him. So they're really targeting that bottom corner down there, aren't they? And you see that it was a difficult one for Beale because it came at him quite fast, but a player with his standards, I think, would be hoping to do a little bit better on that one.
McAleese. Newman can't control it. Just going back to those injuries for a second. We have been told Hugo Ingles will be available on Sunday for game 3. Status of Blair Tarrant is that he could play. We know Nick Ross is definitely out with a hamstring injury, and Nick Woods now. Again, we'll have to wait and see how he shapes up over the next couple of days as the Black Sticks continue to fight hard. And they get the ball with that free hit there.
Certainly digging in there, the Black Sticks. They're just trying to, at the moment it feels like, just trying to get through to half time without any more damage. See if they can muster a response in the second half, because they've been under the cosh. Australia with 3 or 4 penalty corners in this period.
McAleese. Let. Bryden. Well, they're going to be important players for the rest of this game. New Zealand down on troops, particularly in that defensive back line. It's Newman trying to create some uncertainty in that Australian defence. Earning a free hit. Thomas. Let over to McAleese. Kane Russell not on the pitch at the moment. That's Sarakaya. Oh, it's nicely brought down to the carpet once again. Free hit, and Australia will take this quickly. Beale. He's off. Loaded to Simmons, and Brand has it. And there's a shot, no power on that shot, Innocent. And that's wide. Well, you've got to get those ones on target. And it wasn't to be for Jake Wetton that time.
Yeah, well, again, a little bit too easy for Australia. Great lead. Very difficult to get a good shot away here. And Wetton, just that touch just coming into his feet. That's what made it hard for him. So he ended up really having to hit it inside out, which is very, very tough to do. Couldn't direct it back at the cage. So it's the Kiwis surviving again.
1:40 to go in this half. 1:40 to go as Wetton comes forward again, chases it forward into the circle. It comes Wetton. Oh, he can't control it, and it's going to be New Zealand ball. 1:20 left. Here's Sarakaya. There's a little peek at that clock. Sharp has been one of the stars for the Australians in this first half. Good tackle from Russell.
Just can't hold on to the ball here, the Black Sticks, and yeah, that's a
green card has been handed out.
Card of the series there, and
Lachlan Sharp
just a little bit too eager to win that ball off Dominic Newman and falling over the top of him. Earns himself a green card, so 2 minutes. So he'll have a early half-time rest.
Yes, and Australia will start the second half. We'll have the first minute down to 10. Now New Zealand have got 30 seconds left to try and do something here. And Beale sneaks in with the ball, Daniel Beale. Australia will be very happy to secure possession here. Down a player and holding this 2-0 lead as we close in on half-time. One last chance for the Australians. McAleese, oh, it snuck it through his stick. And Let will tidy up, and likewise Kane Russell. Russell, good play. Newman. But time has elapsed, and that is the end of the half. And it is Australia in control of the Sentinel Homes match number 2 Trans-Tasman series for 2021. Goals in the first half to Nathan Ephraim's and to Blake Govers have the Kookaburras ahead by 2-0.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more and go further. Now available with Ford Assured Future Value Finance. No deposit needed, and at the end of your payment term, choose from a range of options, including upgrading to a new Ford. Search Ford Escape now. Ford, bring on tomorrow.
History has not been kind to our men on cricket's biggest stages.
He's got it! England have won the World Cup!
Now, Sky Sport proudly presents the biggest stage of all, the inaugural ICC World Test Championship Final.
Incredible!
Don't miss the Black Caps versus India.
This is the ultimate test.
Live June 18, only on Sky Sport.
Well, it's half-time here in game number 2 of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman Trophy Series between New Zealand and Australia. International hockey here at Palmerston North. And goals to Nathan Ephraim's in quarter number 1, and then the penalty corner to Blake Govers has the Australians leading by 2-0. In front of a very keen and enthusiastic crowd. Again, the Australians showing their class, but New Zealand did create some opportunities early, and this was the best one. Nick Wilson off a great pass there from Aiden Sarakaya. Sarakaya here, lovely ball into Wilson, just didn't quite probably direct that shot, and in the end Tyler Lovell was able to clear. And the Australians after that took control, and here's the first goal. Efforts with those long limbs, sneaking the ball past George Ennis, and that's his first goal in Australian colours. First goal for the big striker in just his 5th appearance. Always great moment scoring for your country for the first time. And here's the second goal. Blake Govers in his 100th appearance for the Kookaburras. He scores, celebrates his milestone match. What a strike rate he has. 100 goals, or rather 100 games, 86 goals for Australia. Wonderful achievement, wonderful effort there by Blake Govers. More penalty corners came. This one was well stopped by Ennison as he guided it wide there off Jeremy Hayward. And the relentless attacks here from New Zealand, or the Australians rather, continued. Ennison there called into action, and that deflection there of the rebound from Beale just going into the side netting. So New Zealand able to defend that one. You've got to be so quick with those reactions, don't you, to guide them home sometimes, and Beale not quite there on that occasion. But the pressure continued here. Ennison, and then Wetton it was with that shot also into the side netting. Couldn't quite free up the space to get a good swing at the ball and ensure that shot got on target. So the score remained 2-0 at half-time. Let's get some half-time reaction now. Lincoln Churchill is downstairs with the New Zealand coach, Darren Smith.
Well, Darren, certainly a very tough second quarter of that match for your boys.
Yeah, I mean, I actually thought we did relatively well in the first quarter, and then second quarter they got a couple of ones which the corner was well taken, but the first goal would have been nice to defend that one and tackle well, but that's what you get sometimes.
Yeah, so the second half of this match, you'll be looking to maybe hold the ball a little bit more. Is that one of the main plans? Yeah,
I mean, hold the ball with a bit of purpose as well, get a good shape, make sure we're trying to find that ball into the attacking midfield and find some attacking breach really, because if you just hold it around the back and allow the pressure to come onto you, then you can find it tough. So hold the ball with a bit of purpose, see if we can come at them a bit.
Yeah, very good, and you're losing a few troops out there at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, so Woodsy's got a bit of a head knock, so we've got to be cautious with those. Same with Tarrant yesterday. when those sort of things happen, we've got a bit more science about it. And we just make sure we're doing the right thing by the player. So for Woodsy, he'll be finished today, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It makes us have to challenge with some other guys.
Well, all the best for the second half and the rest of the series.
Happy birthday.
All right. So there he is. It's Darren Smith. Put me up. Darren Smith there. Just standing by for Colin Batch. The Australian coach. And here he is, Colin Batch. And he's with Lincoln right now.
Well, here with Colin Batch. Colin, a very strong second quarter from your boys. What did you say in that quarter break?
Well, I think we're getting, once we tidied up our defence, and New Zealand had a couple of chances early, so we tidied that up a little bit. Our tackling got better in the midfield and also around the circle, and that generated some counter-attack for us. So it's pleasing to get some results in that second quarter. We've got to continue with it. Yeah, certainly it looked like your boys are really hunting for the ball and getting a lot of turnover off the New Zealand guys there. Yeah, but that's a quality we've got to continue, because if you don't get it right, they can make you pay for it. All the best for the second half. Thanks.
All right, so there we are. That is Colin Batch. So New Zealand leading, or trailing by 2-0. Don't forget we have the women's match coming at 7:30 this evening. Let's check out the stats. Circle entries favouring Australia at the moment. They've got a good healthy advantage now after that second quarter. Shots on goal, 5, but the conversion rate is very good, and their penalty corners have been very effective. Very slick from the penalty corner. Opportunities have the Australians been in this contest so far. So 2-0 in this contest so far, and it's all for New Zealand to do in this second half of game number 2. Don't forget, we're delighted that long-term partner of hockey, Sentinel Homes, has joined us for the naming rights partner of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. We'd also like to acknowledge Vantage Windows, the principal partner of Hockey New Zealand, and Black Sticks naming rights partner. Hockey New Zealand would also like to acknowledge Ford, the driving force behind the Vantage Black Sticks, and Sky Sport, the home for hockey. Conditions pretty good here in Palmerston North again. Quite as cold. It feels like it's as cold though, Lincoln.
Yeah, it does feel cold. Something that should favour
the New Zealand team.
Many Australians would deal with this sort of temperature every day of their lives. Bring them down to Palmerston North, show them what a New Zealand winter can look like.
Yes, indeed. But it is the Australians who are not affected by those weather conditions, as they look to impose themselves again on a New Zealand team that's lost their captain for the second game in a row. Blair Tarrant out yesterday early after getting a stray ball in the head, right in the eye, which has closed the eye up. And then the same thing happening today to the standing captain, Nick Woods, getting clopped in the side of the head, almost the ear, and he will not be back in this contest. Hugo Ingles out as well. Nick Ross out injured with a hamstring. So it's going to be hard yards, Lincoln.
It will be hard yards. I mean, it's interesting to hear Darren Smith saying, well, it's maybe not a bad thing in the sense that it asks other players to step up. And it's certainly what New Zealanders will need to be doing here. And Ogilvy just doing enough to win that free hit.
Brand the target of that aerial pass. 3 New Zealanders surround him, including David Bryden. Brand wins the free hit. Happy birthday today, Lincoln, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Darren didn't let me get away with that.
Yeah, here's New Zealand trying to get out of that sticky corner. Sticky corner syndrome it is, as Punchia looks to try and create space, but the Aussies have it now. But not much space for Flynn Ogilvy rather, and now good work from Edwards. Wins the free hit there, and New Zealand do get out of it. Russell in space. Shea McAleese, who's now become the third captain for the Black Sticks. In fact, the fourth captain in the series.
Yeah,
in just the second game with
Hugo was there.
Hugo getting the armband yesterday after the injury to Tarrant. Bryden. Dane Lett. Now we saw an even possession split in that first quarter. Check on that possession. I feel like the Aussies have moved ahead in their possession stakes in that second quarter.
Yeah, not by a great deal according to this. So it was
Okay.
slightly ahead to New Zealand, 52 to 48, and now it's the other way around. Australia with 53 and New Zealand with 47. So it hasn't changed a great deal. But I think you heard Darren Smith say that really it's about purpose with the possession, and that's certainly what Australia have had a bit more of.
Most definitely is Dane Lett. Looks to try and make something of this possession. And that is going to go against Sarakaya, and the Australians take it quickly. Remember, they started this quarter on a green card as well, but they're back to their full complement now of 11 players. And the Australians settle it down through Tim Howard. Hayward and Howard at the back for Australia at the moment. Here is Hayward. Over he goes. Tough one there to control for Ephraim's. And New Zealand again down that corner. They win that free hit. Just reminding you two once again that at 7:30 this evening we'll have game number 2 of the women's series. 1-1 draw yesterday between the Black Sticks and the Hockeyroos.
One thing the Australians have done very well is just harry the New Zealanders in these areas. They really get numbers around the ball and make it very tough.
Edwards squeezes between two defenders. That's brilliant play from him, Thomas. Well, he did brilliantly there, Thomas, to create space for Russell, who's very good in open pasture.
Yeah, well, Steve Edwards has the fastest hands in the business. Very, very good hand speed and good dribbling skills. So he is the kind of guy that can get out of those areas.
New Zealand take it quickly.
Good to see him taking some responsibility to doing that and getting back and taking a quick free hit as New Zealand enjoy a bit of rare possession.
Yeah, long corner. Whoops, not for much longer as the Aussies are back in possession now. The Kookaburras come forward. They're going to win the ball nice and clean there. Edwards almost did. But Australia have it. Brandon Space, 2 players ahead of him. All of a sudden it really opens up for the Kookaburras. They can be very dangerous in this situation. And the timing of the cross was good, but the Ephraim's couldn't get a good stick on it. But the opportunity's still there for Sharp, who got that green card right at the end of the first half. Dawson.
Ollie McIntyre back there in the exact right spot to make sure that didn't come to anything.
Here comes Ockenden with that trademark cutback move. Into the circle it gets played, but it's been cleanly won there. Good tackle by the New Zealand team there. McAleese.
Just always, what I can't get over with Ockenden is just how effortless it looks for him when he dribbles the ball. Just looks like he's in second gear.
Very fluent, isn't he? McAleese. There's a free hit going against Dawson. Now Thomas in space. Nick Wilson. Right in the corner here. And that's gone into his foot. Nice little kind of jabbing move there by Simmons. Wins the free hit for Australia.
That is known as a jab tackle. And he executed it very well.
Sharp. Wetton under pressure. Oh, how did he get out of that? Houdini. Simmons. Create space here for Beale. Brand at the top of the circle. Still 2-0. Nathan Ephraim's and Blake Govers with the goals. Oh, quick ball into the circle. Play on to the call. Hayward called into action, and the referee was going toward a penalty corner but played advantage, Lincoln.
Yeah, good advantage played. That was a good, clean opportunity. I mean, it did look a little bit like the Black Sticks stopped playing, which of course, you're told you should never do, play the whistle.
Sam Lane.
But yes, the rules being it's not quite like rugby. In hockey, if you play advantage and take a shot, then that is your advantage. You don't get to come back. And
Russell, great pass. Here's Wilson. Wilson in front of goal, and he's lifted it.
Yeah, it's a... Nick Wilson in a great spot.
Great pass from Russell.
Very good vision and good ball. And yeah, Wilson still just probably finding his feet back at international level.
Yes, remember,
certainly could have got a shot away there had he received that a little bit better.
Yeah, Wilson, remember, played his first game yesterday for the Black Sticks in 5 years. Very experienced player.
And watching Nick Wilson debut against Australia as a 16 or 17-year-old, I think it was.
Yeah, 2007. It's 14 years ago. So you're right, 17. He's let. And that's just touched the stick there of Jake Witten. So Russell, who's been one of New Zealand's best players in this game, Lincoln, on the ball again.
Yeah, certainly creates a lot. Runs really hard. A good, honest player, Kane Russell.
Brand was retreating before the whistle there. There's a tough one down the corner. Wilson couldn't do much with that one. Wetton. Nice one-touch pass, but Beale can't control it. Now Thomas, the other number 23, gets it. Good pass. That one needed to be right through the needle as Newman gets onto it. And it's going to be Australian possession.
Yeah, it was interesting, Colin Batch talking about the difference between the...
Oh, here's a chance. Oh, no. Hey-ha. And Wilson got tangled up with each other.
They're getting each other's way there.
Sorry, Lincoln.
Understanding. I was just saying it's interesting, Colin Batch saying that the difference between the first and second quarters, and they just needed, one of the things was they just needed to tackle better. It's just interesting that he can say something like that to his players and then it just happens. It doesn't happen for the St Paul's Collegiate First 11 girls team when I try and say that at half time. It's very hard to get that to magically start happening immediately afterwards.
Well, keep working on it. You'll get there. Finlay gives up the free hit. Hayward. Nice pass all the way down there. Now Witten comes forward off that pass there from Anderson. Dawson back out there. Dawson going all the way back. Martin. Australia just looking to just maybe try something a bit different. Oh, there's a great pass that's threaded the needle through to Govers. Then comes the Australians into the circle again. Lett has defended that one well, and now Finlay.
Trying to get a free hit here, and he can't do it.
Lost the ball, it's in the circle, could be a shot here. Deflected off the stick there by McAleese. Reverse chance here for Australia by Anderson, and it's going to be a penalty corner.
Yeah, and it's Lachlan Sharp again making the turnover. It'll be about his 700th turnover he's affected today. And then it's a little bit unfortunate for Oliver McIntyre as that ball sort of ricocheted between his legs, and maybe he was ruled to be obstructing Jacob Anderson.
Well, the Australians have looked slick from their penalty corners. Lincoln, will that continue here?
Yeah.
You would expect so.
Expect so. They'll certainly be needing to keep us out, the Black Sticks, to maintain an interest in this match.
Well, it's those same two protagonists there. There's the switch, and it's going to be Govers again. Beautiful stop by Hayward. Got all of that one.
Yeah, that's why he's one of the best in the business, Hayward. He's a very good corner goalkeeper, and little switcheroo here from the Kookaburras. Top of the circle. And Govers went for that same corner he went earlier in the match, but Hayward was all over it in the end. Really a very good, comfortable save.
Yeah, didn't leave any of that chance. As that ball dangerously hovers in the circle. Still there for the Australians. New Zealand have got work to do to get rid of it. McIntyre can't get rid of it cleanly, so it's still going to be Australian ball. Now, is that going to be from the sideline or is it a long corner? It's a long corner. No, it isn't a long corner. In fact, it was a free hit right by the baseline. We'll get there. All the way across the circle to the other side. Great option. Into the circle comes the Australians again. There's 4 or 5, 6 or 7 of them in there.
Tackle by Dane Lett.
There's a lot of congestion.
It's just one of those unnecessary pass there. Ollie McIntyre just could have held on to the ball and waited for the Australians to come at him, try and win a free hit, trying to force the issue out of there. Kind of just becomes an automatic turnover, and now it's Australia back at them.
Oh, that was an important stick there by Punch here. Hasn't been cleared effectively, and New Zealand are still under pressure here. And that is dangerous into the area, so it will be New Zealand ball. Three minutes left in this third quarter. No change to that halftime score. There's Kane Russell trying to get Nick Wilson involved in the game again. But it's cut out effectively.
Yeah, it's been another key difference, really. One thing I'm particularly impressed with the Australians is the use of the overhead pass and how they're just often able to use it to great effect, connecting with one of their own players, getting into spaces where they can use that overhead pass really well. Black Sticks not quite that's always going to happen, isn't it, when you say it, when you say how good they're using overheads and then they do one like that.
Now Russell changes to the other side of the field. McIntyre, cut out, not a great pass from him, and Brands on that one. Ooh, luckily for New Zealand, Govers couldn't control that one, and now there is space here for Shea McAleese. McAleese gets it again from Punchia. Punchia has it again. It's going to be a long corner.
It's really seemed to struggle to get any speed into that attack, the Black Sticks. It looked like they were trudging through quicksand as they advanced down the field there, and Australia were able to get a lot of numbers back quite quickly.
Muir tries to win the ball. In fact, Sam Lane working hard at the top. Over it goes. Dylan Martin controls it. And it's actually going to be a free hit to Australia. Kane Russell was getting excited for a second.
And again, it was an overhead that just seemed to find an Australian just in his little pocket of space.
Inside the last minute of quarter number 3 now. And it's Australia. What's been a fairly quiet quarter, not many opportunities for either of these two teams. Australia have had a couple of chances. One was saved by Hayward, of course. Just happy to not push things too much. Maybe they will now with 30 seconds left in quarter number 3. Here's a clean tackle by McAleese. Oh, nicely done by Dawson. Belts can't get that one.
Dawson saw that coming and quickly got up and made the intercept. Yeah, I suppose the concerning thing for New Zealand is that I feel like there hasn't even been a circle entry in this quarter for them.
Yeah, it's been hard yards. It's McAleese. Tries to find Russell's. Russell goes aerial again, laying the target, but again, the control down to the carpet is perfect from those Australians. And that will end the third quarter. No goals in that quarter here in game number 2 of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series. It's the Kookaburras still leading the New Zealand team, the Vantage Black Sticks, by 2-0.
Yep, solid quarter from the Australians. A couple of opportunities for them. could have seen them extend their lead, but Hayward doing what he needed to do to repel them.
Let's have a look at some highlights of this quarter. Bit of a scramble there, but Hayward was comfortably down there to repel that one. A little scrappy, wasn't it?
Sort of stopped a little bit there because it would have been a penalty corner, but
this was one of the better chances for the Black Sticks.
Oh, there was a circle penetration. There's
yes.
one right there. Yeah, that's right. Wilson just didn't quite receive that. It was a great pass, you can see, and it was a good awareness by Sean Finlay just to let that go. But yeah, that was dangerous coming back across the circle.
And here is the penalty corner. The players just switching out a shot there, and it was Gubbers who scored in the first half of Hayward. Good save from the New Zealand keeper.
Yeah, he got plenty behind it, Blake Gubbers, but just a slightly, the goal he scored in the first half, hit right at the bottom of the backboard. It's just a slightly easier height.
Yes.
And for Leon Hayward to get down to.
And repel that challenge. So 2-0, reminding you that the goal scorers in the game so far, Nathan Ephraim's and Blake Gubbers, with the goals coming in the first and second quarters. Don't forget, in 45 minutes we'll have the second women's match for you, the Hockey Roos against the Vantage Black Sticks. The two teams having a 1-1 draw in game number 1. So last 15 minutes, can New Zealand find something to get back into this contest? It's Australia in control.
Yeah, they certainly need to just grow a little bit more maturity with the ball here. The Black Sticks, what's killing them is turning it over after winning it. And just too often the Australians win the ball straight back again. They just need that little bit more cleverness, that little bit more guile, awareness on the ball. Good tackle by Dylan Thomas here. As if they can't hold on the ball, can't hold on to the ball long enough to get it advanced down the field, there's going to be precious little chances coming for them. And the Australians, as we have seen, will feast off the scraps if they can get the turnovers.
Macaulay, Springsteen let. He just joined the broadcast. No Nick Woods, he was named captain today, but was injured in the first half after cocking a loose ball in the head. Thomas tries to get it past Hayward, but Hayward has it. So Shane Macauley's now captaining New Zealand today. Beale to Wetton. Simmons. Here come the Kookaburras once again. The team well and truly spread in the New Zealand half. There's a nice deflection. Dangerous deflection. Hayward called on there. And New Zealand get the free hit. I love how the Australians knock it around and then they decide to just pull the trigger. With a very decisive play and a lovely deflection, looking to create uncertainty.
Yeah, was it Daniel Beale again? I think it was. And he's the guy yesterday that in those kind of areas, just such good vision ahead of himself as to what's going on in that circle. So from a very similar area, actually made a reverse stick pass into one of his teammates, score a goal yesterday. Just excellent stuff from him.
Here's Dawson. Hayward brings Ockenden into the action again. Hayward. Howard. And now Dawson. There goes Wetton with a run, and he controls that one nicely, Jake Wetton. Oh, good desperation for the Australians. Keeps it there, gives them an opportunity. Hayward may be out of position, but it's going to be a New Zealand free hit. Gee, they scrambled well there, the Kookaburras again.
Yeah, it's what they do well, especially him, that man on screen. Jake Wetton.
Now the Black Sticks, can they find something? Bryden comes forward again. And hello, there's going to be a card here.
It's all go. That's one thing that's for sure, I think.
Now, who's got the green card here?
He's giving a card, Tomlinson.
Daniel Beale has been green carded. So New Zealand have that one-man advantage for the next 2 minutes. Finlay, the goal scorer yesterday. Gets things underway. Let.
Might feel a little bit hard done by there, Daniel Beale, because it didn't really look like David Bryden set the ball properly. The ball's meant to be static before you take a free hit. It looked like on both occasions there he didn't actually settle the ball. So a little bit tough on Daniel Beale to get back the 5 metres. But be that as it may.
You know, Colin Batch probably won't be too disappointed. It's always good to learn how your team can cope with playing with one less player for a couple of minutes, especially when you're leading 2-0. Now Martin coming forward for the Kookaburras. Anderson it was, trying to help his buddy. Thomas taking no chances, wants to get rid of it. Sam Lane. Going to win the free hit. Let switches it over the right, looking and searching for more space with McIntyre.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for the Black Sticks.
Yeah, they've got to push it.
They're up a player. They need to shift the ball around and find where the gap is. You don't want this sort of 2-minute period, which must be down to only just over a minute now. You don't want it winding down with Steve Edwards tries to get them going forward.
Yeah, you've got to give it a crack, and that's a good pass from Finlay. It's McIntyre! He's wide. Good to see some decisive play coming from the youngster, from Sean Finlay, creating there.
Yeah, it did very well, and it was quite unusual. Ollie McIntyre ending up in that kind of an area, catching the Aussies out, and unfortunately his effort. He got onto it all right, but it was looked a little bit like a defender having a shot at goal.
Australia back to their 11 players again. Beale straight back out there after that 2 minutes elapsed. Let. Good tackle. That's Wetton at his best once again. Newman losing possession for New Zealand. Martin. Belts.
They survived that 2-minute spell, the Australians. That's sort of, from the Black Sticks perspective, that's what they would have wanted, I guess, as a minimum, at least one good look at goal in that 2-minute period, which they got, but unable to.
Oh, Hayward with a shot from Beale there. To brilliantly Leon Hayward, but he concedes a penalty corner. And again, it was Lachlan Sharp, the energiser, who really sparked up again there for the Kookaburras. Here he goes, Lachlan Sharp. And then Beale with the shot. Just kept out by Hayward.
Yeah, it was an interesting little bit of. So he's taken that so quickly, and not even Dylan Thomas just caught napping off his man there. Hayward did actually quite well there in a way. Like he knew he couldn't get any pace on it to clear it out, so he actually did the opposite, which was kill the ball, so it didn't bounce too far back into the circle.
So here comes the penalty corner. Hayward on Hayward. And it's a goal. Hayward gets it. And there is the goal. And it's Australia leading 3-0 now.
Oh, that'll really annoy Leon Hayward. Have his brother score against him.
Yes, Jeremy Hayward up against his brother. Yeah, and it's gone off. He got a little bit of it, didn't he? It looked like this angle will definitely seal what happened. Oh, yeah, deflected off.
Yeah, he'll be a little bit disappointed with that, Leon. He was in the right position to make a stop, and it just snuck in off the bottom of his glove. You could see him set to that side of the goal a little bit, so the way that New Zealand had set that defence up was to effectively block Jeremy Hayward from being able to shoot to the keeper's left-hand side. So as a result, Leon Hayward's able to step a little bit to his stick side. That's covered, but the ball's still managing to find a way through.
Finlay comes forward. Hayward's 66th goal for his country. And he would have enjoyed getting one past his brother, his older brother, Leon Hayward. Of course, if you're not sure how we got to that situation where one is playing for Australia, one is playing for New Zealand. They're born and raised in Darwin, both Haywards, but they have a Kiwi mum. And Leon Hayward chose to switch allegiances to New Zealand a couple of years ago now. He himself, of course, is a former Australian representative. Belts. Oh, gee whiz, that's a real tangle there with Sam Hiha. And Sam Hiha's been yellow carded. So there's a big call from David Tomlinson.
Yeah, I'd quite catch it. It'd be interesting to see a replay of that to see what Sam Hiha's done there to...
Just looked like a tangle, didn't it?
It does seem like maybe the punishment... Well, I didn't see it, so I can't comment. So let's wait and see what actually happened there. He certainly looked pretty surprised by it, Sam Hiha, as did just about everybody when the yellow card came out. Sometimes it does happen when an umpire goes into their pocket and pulls the wrong one out.
Tomlinson, umpire Tomlinson, a yellow card for Sam Hiha, so New Zealand going to be playing the next 5 minutes with 10.
Yeah, and I think the game was already killed off at 3-0, but certainly playing the rest of this now with a man down does seal New Zealand's fate.
Yeah, Dawson quite happy knocking it around at the back here with Wetton.
Just playing a bit of keep ball here, the Australians. New Zealand can't really get up to pressure it being a man down. Trying a little bit now to keep them on one side of the field.
There's a shot into Brand. All there's space here. There's a Sharp who's had an excellent game. Hayward off his line, trying to smother the ball. Still no whistle. And the umpire says play on. And it was given up by McAleese. And here come Australia again with Belts. Nice control there by Bryden. And now Wilson.
Yeah, it's just too loose. Ogilvy cleaning up the ball. Just not been enough quality from the Black Sticks. This kind of situations is sort of typified a lot of what's happened this evening. Losing the ball too cheaply.
Yeah, just got a shot of Nick Wilson looking frustrated up the front there, the New Zealand striker, with things not going right for the Black Sticks in this game. And again, it's Dawson, Howard, Ogilvy, Belts, just happy to knock it around at the back at the moment. Dawson. Finlay has got a timely stick to that one, but can't keep possession.
Yes, as soon as they get the stick on the ball, the Black Sticks, it's gone again.
Eframs. Bryden trying to get the ball as Brand has it again for the Kookaburras and Sharp.
It's just not very kind from the Australians to keep taking the ball back off New Zealand. Jacinda Ardern would not be happy.
Dane Lett trying to free up Kane Russell. See if Russell can create something here. How are those possession stats now, by the way, Lincoln? How are they looking?
They're not looking that good because we've lost our link on the stats pad here. So Australia's still with 52%, but I suspect that number has increased.
Yes.
As this game's worn on, especially now.
Here's Sharp. Plays it off the heel there of McAleese. So a free hit to Australia. New Zealand will still be down a player with Sam Hiha on the naughty chair for a couple more minutes after that yellow card.
He must have really done something naughty, Sam Hiha, because the Black Sticks up until that point hadn't actually had a green card. It was Australia who had the 2 green card cautions.
Belts with this opportunity to inbound it. Just under 4 to play as Simmons gives it back to Hayward. Earlier in the match it was Eframs and Govers getting the goals. 2 of the goals coming from penalty corners for the Kookaburras. Reminding you again that we have game 2 of the women's series coming at 7:30 this evening. Hope you can stay with us. Should be a cracking match between those two sides. Very even contest. Game number 1, which finished 1-1. We're expecting another close one. Oh, gee whiz. And that's going to be a penalty corner. Yeah, number 3, David Bryden.
Bit of a cheap one there. The ground announcer just trying to get behind the Black Sticks, urging the crowd to start making some noise. Probably a little bit late, and it's now 3-0 with 3 minutes to go. The time to have done that would have been when it was 9 minutes to go. Australia had a man off, and it was only 2-0. That would have been when we really needed the crowd to come to life.
Lincoln, you're showing great promise as a ground announcer with that comment right there. Very astute. Very astute.
Yeah, might have missed my calling.
Yeah. Here is another penalty corner. Let's see if the Australians can execute another. Eframs is going to take this one. Powerful deflection away by Dane Lett, who gave that one everything. Another penalty corner has been conceded.
He does that job well, Dane Lett. He gets out there and he's not a slightly built man, Dane Lett, so certainly got a bit of a frame to put in front.
Well, Eframs and Hayward once again at the top. Will they go direct again?
It's like Blake Govers actually on this side.
Eframs saved by Hayward. Got all of that one.
Yeah, it was actually Blake Govers sort of flipped there.
Oh, Govers.
Slinging it down Slick side, and a very good save by Leon Hayward there. Not an easy spot to get to, and he did well. Got down quickly. Good stick to the ball.
Ogilvie. Still New Zealand playing with 10, but only for a few more seconds. Sarakaya tries to cook something up. This is Panchia. And that's come off Sarakaya's stick. So will be Australian possession. Dawson. And Ogilvie again. Hayward. Inside the last 2 minutes. Comfortable win here for the Australians. Certainly been the better of the two teams once again in the series. Good control there by Witten. He's got excellent stick work.
Yeah, it was certainly that second quarter where the Australians really upped the ante in this match. First quarter, actually reasonably even. The Black Sticks would have been quite pleased going into that first quarter time, but second quarter, even though it was still the same scoreline in the two quarters, one goal in each of them to Australia, but second quarter certainly more convincing from an Australian perspective.
Australia looking to close this game out perhaps with one more opportunity, another goal. With just over 50 seconds to play in this contest, and there's a free hit, won by Newman. Sarakaya's behind him. Hiha, who's back out there now, getting the ball. Can New Zealand get a consolation goal? Not with that clean tackle by Witten. Very good tackle. Nice pass, Brand. Lovely control there by Anderson. That was skillful. As Jacob Anderson's forced to hold it up. Wait for some reinforcements up front here. We might not need them, Anderson. Here he goes. Can he get a shot on target here? And it's a penalty corner. Well, Anderson. Very good play from him.
Geez, he'd be a bit fatigued after that. He was dribbling the ball for about 5 minutes, Jacob Anderson. Ran to one side of the field, then to the other, then came back. Good skill. Look, I thought he was going to get a shot away on the reverse, but he was being well tracked by Lett. But as a consequence, he could roll. And there, yeah, fair call. Sarakaya just coming across him there. A little bit sinister from Sarakaya as he broke in here. And
he blocked the space, didn't he? So this penalty corner's come with 5 seconds. Well, in fact, with 25 seconds to go. So one last chance here for the Australians. There goes the shot by Hayward. It's again blocked by Lett. It's still there for the Australians, and it's been deflected away for another penalty corner. Eframs couldn't get the deflection in. So 12 seconds to go.
Yeah, good first running by George Muir there, getting out. making a good block. Very quick off the mark, Muir.
You've got to be fearless as a lead runner. So Beale will get one more opportunity from the penalty corner. It's Hayward again. And this one's deflected high off the gloves of his brother. New Zealand.
David Bryden was waiting for there, but ball sails down harmlessly over the sideline.
Well, Hayward has the last say with that save, but it's been a comfortable win for the Kookaburras in this contest, with 3 goals scored, Ephraim's and Govers before half-time, and then Jeremy Hayward getting one past his brother from the penalty corner. The only goal in the second half. Final score here in match number 2 of the Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series for 2021. Australia 3, New Zealand 0, and we'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more and go further. Now available with Ford Assured Future Value Finance. No deposit needed, and at the end of your payment term, choose from a range of options, including upgrading to a new Ford. Search Ford Escape now. Ford, bring on tomorrow.
Only have to do 20, but if you're 54 like I was.
History has not been kind to our men on cricket's biggest stages.
He's got it! England have won the World Cup!
Now, Sky Sport proudly presents the biggest stage of all, the inaugural ICC World Test Championship Final. Don't miss the Black Caps versus India.
This is the ultimate test.
Live June 18, only on Sky Sport.
Well, there we are. It is 3-0. The confirmed final score here with the Australian Kookaburras. Too strong for the Vantage Black Sticks, with the goals coming to Nathan Ephraim's, Blake Govers and Jeremy Hayward. Let's get some after-match reaction now. Standing by is the Australian captain, Eddie Ockenden, and he's with Lincoln Churchill.
Right, I'm here with Eddie Ockenden. So a convincing performance there, Eddie?
Oh, I think so. I mean, we got 3 goals, and more pleasing we got the clean sheet, but probably not really convincing. But I mean, we're working on things and we're trying to get better, so it's really great to play another game. Yeah,
you certainly turned the screw a little bit in that game. You don't seem to run out of energy. What do you guys have for breakfast?
Wheat Bix every day, so anyone out there. It's been 18 months training, so when you get to a game, I mean, it's just heaps of fun to play. Like, we've been training really hard, and it's been a long time between games, so pretty enthusiastic once we get out there.
Yeah, and so a pretty convincing result, but still be things to work on the next couple of matches?
Yeah, we definitely want to work on some things, trying to improve every game, and it's just a fantastic opportunity for us to be here, so we're very pleased and thankful to be able to play some really tough and challenging games and heaps to learn.
Yeah, all the best, enjoy the day off.
Thank you.
Well, Shea McAleese, good to see a man with an armband making it through a match. Guys are dropping like flies at the moment.
Yeah, it's probably the time that we've had away from hockey. You know, both times our boys have been hit in the head. It's sort of not common at our level. So a bit unfortunate to lose two of our better defenders early in the first 2 games.
Yeah, and so they put you under the cosh a little bit, especially through that from that second quarter onwards. You feel like you had any sort of any gains throughout that second half?
It was a better game than yesterday. I think our press was definitely more solid and denied them a few more chances, but they're probably one of the world's best teams because they are relentless. You know, we build, get a bit of an opportunity, and then they come down the other end and score, and that's why they are one of the good teams, and we've got to try and build in our own play and take our chances when they come, because they don't come that often.
Yeah, and what do you think are going to be the key things for the remaining 2 matches?
Big thing is for us is getting a bit more stuck in. You know, like if you statted the 50-50 ball, they're winning most of them. All of our little passes, instead of connecting to our player, they're sort of getting a stick in there as well. So if we can take that away, I think we'll get a lot more connection and then build our way up into their circle and get more chances and obviously more PCs, which we need as well.
Yeah. Oh well, rest those tired legs tomorrow.
That's right. Cheers.
Yes, Shea McAleese there. It's been a revolving door of captains for this New Zealand team. In just 2 games, he's the 4th captain, unfortunately due to the injuries to Blair Tarrant and to Nick Woods. So all the goals coming from Australia in this contest. Here's a look at them. Nathan Ephraim's getting his first just in the first quarter. It's a bit scrappy in front of the New Zealand goalmouth, but good effort there by Ephraim's to follow that up. Good enthusiasm and keenness there by the tall Australian striker. 1-0. The lead was doubled from this penalty corner. Blake Gubbers buried it there past the stick of George Ennison. Blake Gubbers closing in now on 100 goals for Australia in his 100th game. And there he is there. He's been quite the player for the Australians now for some time and scoring at an incredible strike rate. And then in the second half, the only goal, Jeremy Hayward from another penalty corner, getting it past his brother, Leon. It deflected off Leon Hayward. This angle shows it superbly. Jeremy Hayward coming forward, flicking it and then deflecting off the underside there of the arm, maybe the stick there of his brother, Leon Hayward. And there we are, Australia confirmed as comfortable winners and now take a 2-0 lead series in the 4-match series over the Vantage Black Sticks in the men's competition. But stand by, folks, we've got an exciting match coming for you in just under 20 minutes. It is the second series of the women's match. That is coming between the Vantage Black Sticks and the Hockeyroos at 7:30. The men will be back in action on Sunday. Hope you can join us in 20 minutes for the women's match.
The Sentinel Homes Trans-Tasman series is proudly brought to you by Sentinel Homes and Hockey New Zealand in association with Vantage Windows and Doors, Computer Concepts Limited, Ford New Zealand, and Sky Sport, your home for hockey.